on the back nine here at the Myrtle Beach Open here at Splinter City. Three-way tie between Catrina, Holly, and Ellen. Callie with 4 over right now, hoping to make up a little bit of ground. Maybe start making a few more putts. All right. I'll take the time to thank the sponsors, as always. Wouldn't be happening without AGL Disc. Love you guys. Shout out to Josh and them. J Mike's Flavor Station. Pay attention to them. Dinx LLC, Charleston Tshirt Factory. Of course, Wicked Aces and Spirit Armour. All good people here. Dustin, Nitsudo FPV. Greg and Gail at Too Far Under Par. Reggie Wraps, Mr. Reggie Rhodes, and Gnosh Pit. Shout out to Myrtle. Thank you for jumping in on this. We love that food truck. Definitely check the Gnosh Pit out on that. Heading up to hole number 10 here. Hole number 10 is a long, fairly low ceiling fairway. Till you get to just a little bit after this, there's a set of trees here you want to make it through, but it seems like more of a low ceiling than it really is, but it's just deceiving to the eye, so you don't feel like you can give it as much air. So a lot of people tend to throw these low line drive shots, but you've got room to kind of flex it out a little bit. You do have the road over there on the right, which is OB, so you got to keep that in mind. Callie here just flexing something just around the trees over there. She'll have a pretty good wide open shot at that. Ellen here, that's pretty good for forehand. Yeah, that's really good. Right up the gut. A little bit of flare, but not too much, so she'll be good. Cat, kind of hard to tell where that went at first, but she definitely didn't keep it too low. She used more of the fairway than most people I've seen use, where they just kind of get it a little too low and they're a little too worried about that ceiling. But I've also seen people hit those trees pretty early, and yeah, her and Holly used a little more air this time than most people will have so far. So yeah, Callie had a wide open shot up there pretty easily. We got a camera angle switch here. Holly Finley's making a run on this one. Yeah, and that's pretty typical of Holly Finley. A long spin putt. Perfect. That was very well done. She's done really well on the putting green. I think Ellen's just going to kind of give this a run too. She's pretty close. Yeah, kind of a half bid. See if Catrina can do the same thing. It had potential, just not enough on it, so. Alright. Ooh. Yeah, Callie's had so much trouble on the putting green. She just doesn't seem very comfortable. Had some really good drives, she just hasn't been able to make the putt, so she'll shake it off. Alright, hole number 11. It's a very, very long hole. I've seen lots of different ways to attack this. I've seen a lot of rollers. I've seen some forehand rollers. But most people just opt for a backhand, there's plenty of gaps to hit on this from any angle for the most part. So you'll mostly just see people try to land right before that little walking path there, or car road path, whatever you want to call it. It is not OB on this, so you are safe if you land there. And a slightly elevated basket, but not too extreme, so. And this is the typical shot, just aiming right down that middle. People end up right here all the time, so this is a good spot to be in, to have a nice up shot. Yeah, and even if you filter to the right a little bit there, you're still going to be just fine. You're not going to be obstructed too bad. Catrina just catching the early tree there. That's still not going to hurt her too bad. She's down there. There's plenty of open space down there. This is a really great shot by Callie. Yeah, she's had so many good drives. She just got to get a handle on the putting, get comfortable, get into a rhythm. And the biggest trick about the upshot here is that leaning tree, which is just... I've seen so many people hit that leaning tree. Catrina, she doesn't even want to... Didn't even go for the hyzer, just kind of went straight up the gut and got a nice little bit of skip action up there. So she'll have a nice, roughly 30-foot putt. See what Ellen's going to do. Looks like she's going to try and flex something in, which is probably what I would do as well. That looks really, really good. Yeah. Tad short, but she will be behind that tree, which kind of maybe a little bit under the tree, not as much behind it, but yeah, and you see there's pretty typical someone's going to hit one of those trees down there. And Holly's got a great spot right there. She can take the hyzer route around the tree, around the leaning tree, but there's still always a tree to be hit out there. That was a good run. She actually put that over the tree, that leaning tree. And that was a good run. She had kind of a low ceiling there with that tree, or at least it gives you the effect of a low ceiling, even though you might not have one. Holly is just barely missing that. So Catrina can capitalize on this. Nice. It was not too bad, just a little too much behind that. Holly doesn't miss very many comebackers. If she misses the first one, I'd say there's about a 90% chance she's going to make the second one and come back for sure. So she's been very consistent on the putting today. So be on the hole number 12. Gotta love some above ground level disc action going on there. Definitely go check those guys out. A fantastic company out of California. And this hole right here, this is another kind of tough par 3 in my opinion. There's lots of trees down here to navigate through, but There are pretty fair gaps as well. It's just I see a lot of people throw mids on this. Mids are fairways mostly. It's not exactly a short throw, but as you can see Holly here, that's exactly kind of what you want to do. Maybe get a little more flip on it so that it carries straight a little longer, but she's still going to have a long putt on that. So Ellen, that's not going to be too bad. She's going to be a little to the right, but again, it opens up as you get past there's a cluster of trees down there that you just want to make it past. So yeah, that looks really good. Even though she hit that tree, that's still not going to hurt her. In fact, she could have potentially went OB on a skip if she didn't hit that tree. And Callie did a great drive there too. Very good. And she's just going to jump it up there. That'll be easy par for her. Ellen, she can potentially run this. She's not at an angle where she has to worry about going OB on this. It's not too close. I'm not really sure exactly how far the OB is behind it. I'd say maybe 15 feet, give or take. Yeah, and Holly definitely kind of giving that a little bit of a half run. She was on a safe spot too to run that. Cat might kind of give this a half run, give it a little air time. Yeah, just to be safe and not go OB. So show you a bunch of easy par tap ins for all these ladies. Still a pretty close game there. Holly with the 1-stroke lead in the hole number 13. Hole 13 isn't too much different than that last hole. You got pretty much your choice of backhand, forehand, right hand, forehand, backhand, whatever you want to do. It's a lot of people play off the flare, just kind of throw something low, let it skip over. The ground's pretty skippy out here, so you see Holly doing pretty much that. She's putting a hyzer out there, taking the ground play, and it skips her up nicely. That's mostly the play that I see on this. You can throw something kind of up the gut for the most part, but the right and left side are pretty fair to play a skip on. You see Ellen playing the other side. A little tight there, but she still came out pretty good on that. That cat was trying to turn that over. Just caught that tree on the side there. I would expect her to go to the same way Holly went, but yeah, and that you don't typically see the low ceiling come into play too much, but it's usually something like that. Like Callie just caught the tiniest leaf, the iron leaf, as we all know it. That one little thing that's just gonna slow us down. She's not gonna. Yeah, she doesn't seem too confident in her putting, so she's gonna take that layup there. So. See if Ella can get this birdie. Just a tad bit low. No harm done. There's no huge score separation right now from her in first place, so. There we go, Holly. Holly trying to pull away a little bit here. All right, we'll move on to hole number 14. All right. Shout out to J Mike's Flavor Station for the support. Love J Mike. Love his food even more. All right, hole 14. Hole 14 is it's basically for the most part, a wide open shot. You got your option of a forehand. If you're forehand dominant, probably what you're going to see from Ellen. Backhand, there is that tree that's just to the behind the basket there, or at that point it was. That can be quite easy to hit if you get if you flip it over just a bit too much. So you want to have a nice bit of hyzer out on this one. There are those two little trees up there to kind of scare you a little bit, but you can see Ellen here, she gets a little too much on that one, and she's going to wind up OB on that one. Catrina a little low on that. Maybe she can get a little bit of skip. So not too bad. She's out in the open. And Callie, this is what I was saying. If you overcook it, you can potentially hit that tree, but she came out at a pretty decent time there, so that wasn't too bad at all. She could run that if she wanted to, but probably not, being that there is a OB behind that. There's a little ditch right there where Ellen landed in, so she should be fine. She'll have to save bogey from there. And Holly overjuiced that one a little bit. Not too bad, though. She'll be fine there. A little bit of a tester putt for par. Nice little pitch up there by Callie. I think Ellen's got this. Oh yeah. Just over the cage. Very nice par save there. Oh, excuse me, bogey. Ooh. I was just thinking when that putt hit, if she didn't hit the chain enough, she could definitely with her putt, her spin putt, she could definitely be at risk of going OB there, so. A little scary there, so. Moving on to hole 15, my personal favorite hole. Hole 15 has a double mando right here, right up the gut. It's more of a forehand friendly hole, in my opinion. I see a lot of backhand turnovers. I've seen a few rollers thrown on this. So there's options, mostly just people going up the gut with a turnover or some kind of forehand, and flaring over to the right there is the most common play that you'll see. So we'll see what these ladies do. Catrina looking for the She wanted that to turn over a little bit more down at the end, but still, that's just fine. She's down there. Callie going for the forehand. Not too shabby. I like trying to do the same thing Catrina did, but get a little more turn, and she did get a little more turn out of it. So yeah, that's kind of what you want. What most people are trying to do is have a little bit of a late turn. Ellen just didn't like that one at all. Didn't come out very clean. She did make the Mando though, so she's not in too much danger, so she's gonna try and flex something in there. Try to make it around these trees and not hit anything. Kind of gets low in this little area with the ceiling. Yeah, she'll have to. She may have to settle for a bogey on this one potentially. And that was a good up by Callie. I think Holly was running this one. I'm pretty sure she was. Pretty safe. There's no real danger. You land on the hill, you'll bounce off. And then we cut back to Ellen. We all thought she was a little further down, so kind of skipped her on that one a little bit. We all had good upshots here, so no huge mistakes on this particular hole. I believe Ellen took a bogey on that one. Holly was definitely running this one. She was super close. That was a very powerful putt there. I thought that was going to bounce out. Alright, there'll be a few tap outs and we'll head on to hole number 16. Big shout out to my friends there, Josh and Dakota at Dinx LLC. Good people, get at them on Facebook. And hole 16 is a pretty long par 3, mostly wide open. This hole can have a pretty inconsistent wind, what I've noticed, so you kind of have to mind your wind situations on this. Mostly wide open for backhand hyzers. There is a forehand option as well. There are some woods to the left on the forehand, so you can't get into a little trouble if you turn that over a bit too much. But most people you'll see take either the middle between that to the left of that tree, or they'll take the hyzer on the right of that tree. Catrina's opting for a turnover up the gut, and that looks really good. And she is going to be down there. Catrina taking advantage of her power on that one. Holly going up the same route, just a little too low. There's a fairway dead in the middle of that where you can tell where the ground is a lot more skippy, but the grass is a little high in certain areas, so if you get it too early in the ground, you're not really going to get any flare on it. Ellen opting to just air it out, and that's a good spot to be in. Callie here, pitching out with a forehand. That was a great out right there. Very good forehand. She's got a great forehand. Getting a little more on that, just a little deep. She'll have a putt at it, but catching the early tree, that's going to hold her back a little bit because that tree's it's far away enough that it's a little annoying on the putt, but Cat pretty much putting that into the basket. Yeah, you can see Ellen. She's.
It is outside, or should I walk it? It is? No, you're definitely out.
Yeah, she's probably close to 40 feet on this, give or take. But I think she's safe enough that she can run this. There's no danger behind. Yeah, I don't know what the camera did there on that one, but it completely cut that shot off in the middle of it, so. We got Holly. And ooh. She overcooked that. She's going to have a long comebacker on that one. That's what I was saying earlier about her putts. If she misses chain or band or anything, it's going to go well past the basket. But I also said 90% of the time, she's going to make those comebackers too. So you never count her out on that. She's a comeback putt queen, in my opinion. I've seen her make so many long comebacks. Very impressive. Alright, and we're getting there. We're moving on to hole number 17. Much, much shorter hole. Still has its own difficulties in its own ways. Hole 17, mostly what you see on this hole, the pretty much the gap that the drone is flying through is what a lot of people do. Just kind of, you can throw a putter or a mid, something just goes, they can flip over a little bit, go nice and straight. There is a hyzer gap to the right over the woods that you can't see right now, but mostly you see people take this this gut shot kind of gap. And there is a forehand turnover line as well. But again, there are plenty of trees in there to slow you down. And this is the hyzer line, pretty typical. Usually filters in pretty nicely. So Holly's gonna do, kind of taking that same kind of flip up hyzer, and then hopefully it filters in, because that's pretty, looks a lot more, it's more open than it looks on the camera actually. So, and Ellen trying to get the flex line, and she went pretty high and she caught a tree down there. So Catrina gonna have to opt for some kind of forehand. Yeah, that'll work. She could say par from there. That was very nicely done by Ellen there. And Callie pitching up. And just catching a little bit on the left chain. She's been missing a little bit to the left or the right here on a couple putts, so she's still in it though. Yeah, still a very close battle.
Can I ask you about this crystal around your neck?
This one right here? You certainly can. I'm glad you did ask. I put it, I should have been strangling it a little bit. Tshirt Armour, thank you again for hooking me up with this nice piece. Let me hold it out for you. This is my bling.
All right. Shout out to my buddy Goose, Spirit Armor. God has some beautiful pieces of work there. Definitely check him out on Instagram. Hole 18. Hole 18 is it's a whole lot of fun. You don't want to follow the gap that this drone just took up the gut there, but there are 2 gaps down there. Once you get through the main fairway, you can either throw a forehand and turn it over a little bit, which you're probably going to want to do to make it through that initial gap. I see a lot of people just throw a backhand turnover. I think you'll see some of those shots here for the most part. So it's really just getting down this fairway and not hitting any of these early trees. As you can see what Cat's doing here, this is perfect. Hyzering out right there where you want to be. That's a good spot to be, in my opinion. You'll see people either there or to the right where Callie's heading. But there's of course, we're in East Coast woods here, so there can be definitely some danger down there that you could flare over in the woods a little too much. And Holly, she's trying to do it. Same thing Callie just did. She got down a little earlier, so she might have a little bit of a better shot. It's hard to tell from the tee whether you were good or bad. And I like this from Ellen. I like that a lot. That's kind of ideal in my opinion. And yeah, Callie just got a little too much hyzer on that. It could have flared, but not too much out. Not too much. This is still a new course, so the ground is not it hasn't been trampled on enough to give you that nice little bit of skip over. And Holly as well, not too good of a spot here, but this is a par 4, so yeah, she wasn't happy with that. Yeah, this is like I said, this is a pretty typical spot where you see people on an average good, like where this is okay to be here shot. That's where you want to be on that spot right there. She's just gonna try to throw something up the middle, maybe get up the turnover just a little bit, but still finish at the end. Yeah, it's tough to execute that shot whenever the woods are so tight, but she got down there pretty well. It's very tight in there. I'm trying to navigate through all these woods. And that was a great shot right there. Very, very well done. And that was a great shot there. It was unrewarded though. It's always a tree to ruin it. Holly just trying to get there so she could save par. And that was very, very well done right there. Callie's got a very good touch forehand. See if we can make some putts here, save some pars. Luckily that didn't roll too bad, so but she wanted that one. Yeah, despite the hitting the tree, Cat still wound up with a very good good open putt, so she capitalized on that one. Alright, and Ellen maintains a par save. That was a very good par save on her part there. This is going to put Holly at 1 over. Still within shot of Catrina, especially heading into Sockasty, which is the next round. So we could see some score separation there from someone like Holly Finley for sure. Yep, and like we said, Catrina still in the lead. You got Holly Finley, followed by Rebecca Cox and Ellen Widboom. That will be your lead card going into the second round when we head into Sockasty, which is a completely different course, much more technical, a lot more trees at the Sockasty Rec Park, as we all know. Big thanks to all the sponsors, AGL, J-Mikes. Can't thank these guys enough. They've all been very supportive of me and all of my past videos. Dinx, Josh and Dakota, love you guys. Dane at Charleston Tshirt Factory, always supporting disc golf as well. Spirit Armour and Too Far Under Par. Goose and Greg, good people. The Gnosh Pit, thank you Meredith. Everybody go check out the Gnosh Pit food truck. Find out where they are because they got some good stuff there. And if you don't know Valerie from Wicked Aces, you're missing out. Reggie Rhodes from Reggie Wraps, thank you so much. Thank you, brother. Couldn't thank you enough for being supportive of this. My buddy Greg Herzog, get after him on Facebook too. He's great with a computer, great with Premiere Pro, and just a good dude, an asset to have to help with any editing. So thank you, Greg, and thanks for being on Catch Cam. Appreciate you. And everybody go say thank you to the Tatey Peddler right there too. We'll see you at Sockasty.